Hi there, and welcome to another episode of the House Gist. Today's episode is not just gist, it's not telling you do this, do that. Today's episode is quite sensitive, a little bit sensitive, and it's a wake up call for we, the employers. What story am I talking about? I'm sharing a story that left me shocked. Like, think over the Easter holiday. I really can't remember where I was, but we're just talking about nannies and all of that. And this woman comes up, oh, I'm tired, I'm done. I'm like, what's going on? She's like, oh, the new one she just recruited, like just gave her PTSD, and she's not sure she would be moving forward with someone else. I'm like, what happened? She goes, oh, this lady only stayed in my house for 4 days. For the first 2 days, I noticed some very creepy things with her. She would go to the fridge, drink juice directly from the bottle, things like that. Just eat anyhow, pick things anyhow. But the one that drew the line for her was like the lady was always on her phone. It was more like a trial period, and she was just looking, trying to come up with her boundaries and all of that. But she noticed this lady is always on her phone. She's not even attentive with the children. And you know your phone, even when you have privacy screen on your phone, I can still see one or two things that you're doing. Oh, and she goes, oh, this lady was doing lesbian stops on her phone. I'm like, what? She said, yeah, that oh, when I looked at her phone, I found out, oh, she was there busy looking for sugar mummies in Lagos. I was shocked to my bones, like, really. She's like, yeah, that not just that the few times she looked into the phone, she saw her watching adult content. Then somehow she came across her TikTok page. She saw her and what she was doing on her TikTok page. It now occurred to her that yes, what I actually saw on her phone is what I saw. She was busy looking for what's it called? Sugar mummies in Lagos, lesbian sugar mummies in Lagos to do hookup with. Probably when the children go to school or over the weekend when she goes off, she goes to do hookup and stuff like that. So like the next minute, she just told the girl, okay, your time here is done. Please do me well to leave my house. And she's like, I was very shocked because the other staff I have, she's been with me for over a year and it's from this same agency that she got this girl. So she went back to the agency that what is happening, how long has this lady been in the lady you sent to me, how long has she been registered in your agency and what training has she taken? They kept trying to jump corners and she was like, oh, if you're not talking, I'm going to come over with the police because you can't send someone like this to work with children because somehow, they will end up molesting children. And she's like, she threatened the agency with the police, and they're like, oh, this particular staff just joined us barely a week ago, and since you were looking for someone, we put her out there in the market. She's not had adequate training yet, but we just put her out there. Being that she came, said she had work experience. They didn't even verify it from the agency that she had work experience. She hadn't even worked with a family before and all of that. The agency just kept on apologizing. And this is a very reputable nanny agency, very popular one in the city of Lagos that pride themselves as we're into this nanny thing. We train our staff, they do trainings. It's also what the agency where I get my staff from. So I know them that they wouldn't mess up this way, but they really bumped on this. So my question is that is it that these agencies these days are just picking people from the streets and dumping them to families without vetting them so well? Like, I mean, it's really creepy that someone comes to your agency to register to be a nanny, you don't vet them, you just throw them out to a family. Like, it really doesn't make any sense. In future episodes, I will definitely bring an agency person to break down the process for everyone to know how the vetting process is being done. Imagine having someone like that in your space with full access to the internet, full access to your home with your children. It's not nice at all. It's not nice. It's really, really, really not nice. Now, this kind of story can cause panic. You're thinking, how do I really know who am I hiring? What are they doing with their phones? But panic doesn't help. We need to be prepared with our house rules. Yeah, if you've been listening to my podcast from the very episode, I'm very strict with house rules. We have to be very prepared for them with our house rules so that you can have your own peace of mind. You're not losing it, that every time what you're shouting or just moving around trying to get things done. We have to be prepared for that. We have to keep retreating these house rules every now and then. So some of the tips I can give for us to work with here is screen beyond the surface. Don't just go to the agency. By the time you're interviewing people you want to interview, ask them deep questions. Ask I know many of them lie. A lot of them lie a lot. Ask them deep questions like, okay, what do you use your free time to do? What are your hobbies? The family you were working with before, why did you leave them? The common line now is that the family relocated. That's the one you hear a lot. Why did you leave them? How long have you worked with them? Can I talk to the person you were working with before? Yeah, I'm a big advocate of that. I always speak to the previous employer. Sometimes I know it might be their friend's number that they are just giving to lie, but then you just make them know that you're on your feet. You're on your feet, you're looking at things. Number two, have a clear phone policy in your home. It may sound controlling, but you need these rules. No phone during working hours. No explicit content on your phone. Limit unsupervised internet access. What I would say works for me is during working hours, because like I think I've always said in previous episodes again that they don't just work all through, they have breaks. And when you are in my space being my living room, the children's area, the kitchen, I don't want to see your phone. I don't want to see it. You have breaks at intervals and all of that. When you go back to your quarters, you can use your phone. You're not even expecting an emergency call. If you check and you have a call, you can return your call. If you want to talk to me, I have a direct line in my sitting room where you can use to dial me. If you want to send me a message, go back inside your room, use your phone to send me a message. But there is no phone within the house area. No house staff is using phone within the house area. It is limited to their rooms and their rooms only, because I don't want you being with the children and the next thing they are looking over your phone. I don't know what you are watching. So we really need to include that in our house rules when we are hiring. No pictures. Nobody's taking pictures of my children. I don't need it, except I ask you to take a picture of something and send to me. No pictures. Always include this in your employment agreement from day one. Also, observe patterns and not just moments. People can act sweet for the first 1 or 2 weeks, but then their real behavior starts showing up. So watch out for this inconsistency. Notice how they react to corrections. Look at who they associate with in the community, especially for housekeepers. They are the ones that tend to go out a lot, unlike nannies. Nannies are more restricted to being inside the home because they are with children. Housekeepers, most especially, look at them with the security men at the gate. How do they interact with other helps within the estates where you live? It is very, very important. Then again, keep an open communication. If something feels off, don't just brush it aside. Address it calmly. Shouting doesn't help. Call them calmly. If it's in the kitchen you want to sit down and talk, create a space where concerns can be voiced out early before they turn to major issues. That is very, very important. Also, do random checks respectfully, especially if it's the first few months. You're not spying, it's your home. You're just protecting your space. So if you have a new staff, do your random checks. If the staff member has nothing to hide, they shouldn't have a problem. I go to their room every now and then. I just walk in. Sometimes I knock when I'm not doing my checks. I just knock here respectfully, I knock, but other days I just zoom it open. Oh, what were you doing? No, nothing, nothing. Yeah, just do those random checks. I know it's not easy, especially because we have to go to the office, come back tired, still care for our children. But then these people are also with our children, so we have to keep our eyes on the ground. Lastly, trust your God, trust your instinct. Your home is your sanctuary. If your spirit says something isn't right, listen. You don't owe anyone permanent employment if your peace is being disturbed. Don't like me. If you come to my house and things start spoiling, I'm sorry you're going, because that is already a bad omen. Because why should one person be spoiling things over and over in the space of 1 to 2 weeks? You repair this, repair that, repair this. No, 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 no. Always trust your instincts and do what your mind tells you. Yeah, sometimes we can be oversensitive and take the wrong step, but then we should always trust our instincts and follow the right step. I'll just conclude over here that when you bring someone into your home, around your children, into your private space, you can't afford to leave things to chance. I know most of us have cameras in our homes here that we are monitoring with our phones, but you would not always be monitoring your camera on your phone 247. So you should always bring someone that you feel at peace with, so that you know that, oh, I'm not just leaving things to chance. Then protect your home, your value, your space, and your peace of mind. Let's be wiser, let's be firmer, and let's stop assuming that a calm face equals a safe hand. Let's do our thing. Let's monitor these people, know what they are doing, let them know that you are watching them. Okay, I think that would be it for this week. If you have any wild experience with domestic staff, or you just want to share your thoughts on this episode, leave a comment, and you could also send a DM to any of our social media handles at the house gist, or you can send an email to thehousegist@gmail.com. I'll be willing to hear and share your stories. Until next time, bye.